Hi, JoJo Williams here, coming to you from beautiful, sunny Santa Cruz, California, where I'm vacationing for the summer, enjoying time with friends and family because this is my hometown where I grew up and where a lot of my story happened, and we're going to be talking about stories today. Um, and I'm really excited to be at a place in my life where I can travel to where I want and spend time and I can work wherever I'm at. So I'm here vacationing and working and helping spread toxic-free living to the world. But today I want to talk to you about you. I want to talk about your story, my story, our story. And when I talk about our story, I'm referring to our life. Because our life is really one big story, and there's different chapters and twists and turns and surprises, and there's so much. And then there's those periods where there feels like there's nothing, but it's all our story. It's all a part of our story that we invest in and that we're constantly creating and writing. And at any time, we get to change the direction that our story takes. And let me share with you how my direction changed. It changed on the day that I decided that I had to start learning how to love me, to know my own self-worth and my value, because most of my life I spent not believing that I deserved love, abundance, joy, anything. I had this voice screaming inside of me that said, "You're not worthy." And I listened to that voice for a lot of years. I was completely held back by fears and doubts and very self-destructive in a lot of my choices, and I told myself a lot of stories. When we tell ourselves a story that is not true, we don't really count the cost of that, but we do pay the price. We pay the price for the stories we tell ourselves, and we invest into something. We invest into that story. We have to justify it. We have to defend it, and I did that many times in my life. And we justify and we defend the stories that we want to play out. Then there comes a time where we decide that we would rather not, for myself, I decided I'd rather not have to defend my story anymore. I just wanted to live a life that's congruent with my desire to create a life purpose. And I say create because we decide what our life purpose is. I wanted to create a life purpose that sustained me, aligned me with the things that make me feel good about who I am and what I contribute to this, to my family, to my friends, to my community, to this planet as a whole. I decided that I needed to learn how to love myself, and I started aligning with a higher truth inside of me that says, you are worthy, you deserve love, you deserve abundance. And I started working through that broken mindset that I had that said I deserved just more lack of. And I started writing a new story. And since doing that, my life has transformed in ways that make me want to cry when I think about it. I've surrounded myself with the most amazing souls who are on similar paths of wanting to create true goodness in their own lives and all the lives that they touch. And now the people that are in my life encourage in me abundance and joy and love and support that. And we're all telling a story that is honest and true to our highest self and our highest purpose. And we don't need to justify it or defend it. See, that's what happens when you begin to live true to you. If you're at a place in your life where you're needing to justify or defend where you're at, you might be telling yourself a story that isn't true to who you are, who you want to be, who you want to become. And it's okay at any time to decide that you want to change that. Change is beautiful, change is amazing, and it's scary, but let me tell you, we're always paying the price for our choices. There's consequences to good and to bad choices. And we just need to decide, are we going to pay consequences for good ones or for bad ones? There is no easy path in life. And who would want it to be easy? What would be the fun in that? What would be the fun in having nothing to overcome, no challenge to overcome in life? I personally have overcome many, many challenges, and the biggest one that I had to overcome was myself. The biggest challenge was telling myself that I didn't deserve anything better than what I had, and accepting that and creating more of that. So one day I woke up and decided to change that and to develop a new belief that I deserved every wonder that life has to offer, and started manifesting that in my life. You can do that too. This is your story. You write it, and you get to decide how your story ends. So if you're out there and you're feeling lost or frustrated, look at your story and ask yourself at the end of the day, when I look back upon all of this, what do I want to see? And that's how you write your story from here till there. All right, have an amazing day. Enjoy this beautiful summer and go out and make your story magnificent. I love you so much. Take care.